Let me take you to a cold winter night in Ohio. It's late, just minutes before midnight. The sky is dark, the snow falls quietly, and the roads are nearly empty. The world feels like it's holding its breath. Inside an old, worn-down car, a woman named Sarah grips the steering wheel. Her fingers are numb from the cold because the heater barely works anymore. Her eyelids are heavy, her shoulders slouch from exhaustion. She's not returning from a family gathering. She's not on her way home from a date. She's finishing up her second job of the day, delivering food to strangers, just trying to earn enough to keep the lights on a little longer. She's tired. She's underpaid. And she's forgotten what hope even feels like. Her name is Sarah, and she's about to make one decision. One decision that will change her life forever. But before I tell you what happened next, let me ask you something. What if you were one decision away from a completely different life? Would you believe me? Maybe not. Not yet. But keep listening. This story might change you. Today, I'm not here to throw quotes at you or repeat what you've heard 100 times. No, I'm here to tell you a story. A story about pain. A story about survival. And most importantly, a story about power. Because somewhere deep down inside you, buried underneath the routine and the responsibilities, is a fire, a voice that says, I was made for more than this. You felt it, haven't you? You've heard that whisper, especially on those quiet nights when no one's around. When the world stops spinning, and it's just you, your thoughts, and the life you're trying to survive. That voice isn't a lie. That voice is the truth. Let me tell you what happened to Sarah. Because maybe, just maybe, it'll remind you of yourself. Sarah Thompson, 38 years old, single mom of two, living in a cramped two-bedroom apartment on the east side of Columbus, Ohio. The walls were thin. You could hear every argument next door. The fridge never seemed full. And every single morning started with the same routine. Wake the kids, get them ready, drop them off at school, then head off to clean houses. She'd scrub toilets in the morning, mop floors in the afternoon, deliver food until midnight. Repeat. She didn't complain. She didn't post quotes on social media or talk about her grind. She just lived it. Day in, day out, quietly. She had no weekends, no time off, no dreams left in her pockets. But Sarah had a secret. A long time ago, back when she was just a teenager, she wanted to be a nurse. Not for the paycheck, not for the uniform, but because she loved taking care of people. She was the kind of person who noticed when someone was hurting, who would stay behind after school to comfort a friend, who always put everyone else first. But life doesn't always go the way you plan. Sarah got pregnant at 20. The man she loved said he wasn't ready and left. And just like that, her dreams were replaced by diapers, bills, and double shifts. She told herself, it's okay. This is what mothers do. And for nearly 2 decades, that's all she did. She watched life move past her. Friends bought houses. Classmates traveled. Former co-workers posted promotions and celebrations online. And Sarah, she folded laundry at 1 a.m. and wondered what might have been. She wasn't bitter, just tired. Tired of feeling invisible. Tired of being strong all the time. Tired of pretending that she didn't still dream. But on that cold winter night, as she sat in the car waiting to deliver her last order of the day, something happened. She looked out the window and saw a nurse walking up the steps of the house next door. Same age, same tired eyes, but different. This woman looked fulfilled, worn out, yes, but proud. She carried herself like someone who was walking in her purpose. And in that moment, Sarah saw not a stranger. She saw herself, the version of herself she buried a long time ago. Tears filled her eyes before she even realized what was happening. She wasn't crying because she hated her life. She was crying because, deep down, she knew it could have been different. It still could be different. That night, she went home. Her hands were still cold. Her bones still ached. But something inside her had lit up. At 2:37 a.m., standing in her small kitchen, she opened her old laptop. The screen flickered. The Wi-Fi was slow, but she typed in, "Online nursing programs near me." She clicked one link, then another, and finally, with hands shaking and heart pounding, she hit apply. That was it. She didn't have savings. She didn't know how she'd afford it, but she made the decision. A bold one, a messy one, a real one. And that was the beginning. The next few years weren't magical. They were brutal. Sarah studied at night after work, sometimes falling asleep with a textbook open on her lap. She failed exams. She cried in silence. She missed birthdays and school events. Her body gave up before her spirit did. And there were days, many days, where quitting seemed like the only option that made sense. But every time she thought of giving up, she'd see her daughter asleep on the couch. She'd see her son struggling with math homework. She'd remember that nurse walking proudly into that house on a snowy night. And she'd keep going. She started waking up earlier, an hour before the kids, to revise, to pray, to visualize. She began speaking affirmations into her mirror, even when she didn't believe them yet. She found small corners of joy in cheap coffee and quiet moments. Every day, she chose to continue. 4 years later, Sarah wore her first pair of scrubs, not because someone gave her a chance, because she took it. Today, Sarah is 42. She's a pediatric nurse. She works in a local hospital helping kids who remind her of her own. She's bought her first car without consignors. She just put a down payment on her home. And on weekends, she records motivational videos on TikTok. She tells her story, just like I'm telling it to you now. She reminds other moms that it's not too late. She has hope in her eyes, energy in her walk. And when she looks in the mirror now, she doesn't see a ghost of who she used to be. She sees a fighter. One decision changed everything. Now let me ask you again. What about you? Maybe you are stuck. Maybe you've been surviving so long, you've forgotten what it means to live. Maybe you've convinced yourself that you missed your moment. But what if you didn't? What if the life you keep dreaming about, the business you want to start, the body you want to build, the peace you crave every night before falling asleep? What if all of it starts with one choice, one decision to stop waiting, stop overthinking, stop settling? No, you don't need a perfect plan. You just need one bold step forward. Just like Sarah, right now, you are standing at a fork in the road. On one side, comfort, routine, predictability, and the slow, quiet death of your dreams. On the other, growth, fear, uncertainty, but also purpose, freedom, joy, and the version of yourself you've always wanted to become. No one can choose for you. This moment, this video, this voice, it's just a spark. But the fire, that's yours to light. So here's what I want you to do. Right now, not tomorrow. Write down one decision you've been avoiding. Just one. And in the next 24 hours, take action. Then come back here and comment, I made my decision. Let's build something together. Let's become the kind of people who don't just dream. We decide. We do. Because, my friend, you are one decision away from a completely different life. Are you ready?